You have to do it recursively? Yeah, no. Oh. I guess you do have to do it recursively. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Let's create a utility class for this. Let's create a utility class for this. Create folder utility. Let's just say physics utilities. Physics utilities. Namespace sayonara util. Wow, okay. That's weird. That is weird. It's like it's listening to me. That is weird. I didn't know that's what I wanted to do. That is creepy. That's literally the exact function too. Weird. I can actually delete this. We can say physics utilities. And then I do this somewhere else too. Copilot wrote a function. So I had Googled something on a different screen, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, I need to do this." And then I went to write it in Visual Studio, and Copilot like literally copied the function that was in the browser on the other screen. which is super creepy. This looks redundant, but replace or integrate with trash.cs. It's crazy. Yeah, but like, how did it how did it know from the browser? Like, it's not linked. Microsoft is Copilot. Google has some kind of AI code thing that's separate. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me. Why'd you do that? Want this to be. Is this almost like identical? Integer Boolean. Disable, unenable. Oh, because. Oh. Oh, because. I think I can replace dust bucket with trash. So let me do that. So placement data. No. What am I looking for? Prefabs, props, dust bucket. Oh, I already did. I already did trash. So do I need the dust bucket anymore? I don't think so. Is this used? 0 references. I don't think I need that anymore. Hopefully I didn't just break something. Yeah, it looks like I converted them all to trash. Yep, I fixed it. Okay. that's that. Let's just make sure we don't have any more set layer. Current projects. Set layer. What are we doing here? Oh, okay. We will replace this with physics, utilities, set layer recursively. Why? Game object. Object. You get rid of that. See, we're cleaning up the code. Okay. Let's match this. Okay. Clean that up. Close all tabs. So now in the object manipulator, we just have to make sure that if the item is no good, the placement is no good, not to like get rid of the object. So object is no good. Manipulator. So we're calling, we have to basically call can place. So place object, this, if this is this, and if you can't place return. Actually, do we have a sound we can play? Like an eh? Let's see what Emily gave us. If mod. Emitter. Let's see what we got here. Can't play it there. I have to play it here. Oh, she has a place item sound. Okay, we'll have to use that. Maybe we'll use the bucket. Disappear. Yeah, let's use this. Bucket disappear. Okay. And then object manipulator. We'll call audio. Emily, if you're watching this later, I'm adding a sound. I'm using the bucket delete sound as like a you can't place this item sound because it's red. So, headers are just ways of injecting into the editor. So I'll show you what it does in a second. Just get this. So like you can see like these little headers here, grid, hold, release. So it's just a way of breaking up. No, you cannot see the nunchucks. Stop it. They're just like pretend, like not pretend, but they're like training nunchucks. They're like foam. So I don't kill myself. So see, it added this header here. Like it's just a way of breaking up the inspector. Otherwise it looks like a mess. There's other things you can do too. Like for example, you could do space. Like if you just wanted to add some space, you can say like space like 50. And it adds like 50 pixels of space. See, 50 please. So we have a question here from It's Badger OG. Hey, I've been doing Unity Pathway for a little bit. I'm a junior coding part. I'm in the junior coding part. I was wondering if there was a better way to learn C#. So it's never easy to learn programming from nothing. It's not just there's no like silver bullet, quick and dirty way to do it. It's a matter of wrapping your head around concepts, certain concepts, and then being able to understand how the language you're learning implements those concepts. So I guess my first question is you have any other programming experience, or is this really your first experience with programming? Because the funny part is, in my opinion, Unity is actually not the best way to learn C#. Because Unity is constructed in a way that isn't necessarily the typical way you would approach a C# project. Like the way game objects works, mono behaviors work, is Unity specific. And so there are things you'll learn about C# in, say, a web application that you would never do in Unity. So I would say it depends on what you want to learn C# for. Um, if you're doing it for game dev, it's okay. It's okay to just say, I only care about C# with respect to Unity. My first experience handling code in general. I understand most of the basics of Unity and its interfaces, but coding is very new experience for me. Yeah, I'm wanting to learn Unity C. Okay. So, what's a good way to do it? Trying to think. Because I had an advantage where I knew Java first. So I knew Java. And then it was easy for me to make the leap to C# because C# was similar. Different but similar. So let me ask you this. What do you particularly find challenging about C#? Is it just that like you want to learn more about the language and what it's capable of and like the library that you have access to? Or is it just like you want to be more efficient with it? Like what specifically about C# do you want to learn? Or do you want to better yourself with? Because sometimes it's just experience and trying things out and understanding what fails and what doesn't work. But if there's something specific you're curious about, feel free to like be more. Scott says, if you weren't building games, is there anything else you'd want to build? Yeah, you might be able to learn programming concepts from another perspective first and come back to Unity. That's a great thing, like a website, an API. There's some great courses out there where you build just like an API that queries movies and you query a database. Like you will not do any of that in Unity, but it learns you some of the basics of the language. But to that point too, building a website, building an API is also a specific domain. So you're going to learn techniques that are exclusive to web development that you probably won't repurpose. So if your goal, in this case, it sounds like Badger's goal is to learn C# for game dev, I think sticking with Unity is okay. Just understand that what you're learning about C# might be Unity specific. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. As much as I dislike Python, it's a great course from Angela Wu that teaches programming from the ground up. Oh, that's cool. Uses Python. Scott, if you can link that, that would be cool. I'd like to take a look at that. Yeah, mostly I have super limited view on coding in general. Okay, so it's just you just want to just generally get better at coding, which is totally reasonable, totally fine. I think because you want to make games, then looking outside is probably not the best. Actually, I do have a recommendation for you. Do you know who Code Monkey is on YouTube? He did a beginner, intermediate, and advanced course for C#, specifically targeting game dev. It does walk you through the basics and then goes into the intermediate and then into the advanced. I would actually recommend checking out that. In fact, let me get the links for you. Let's see here. Have it in a playlist.
Hello and welcome. I'm your
Yeah, this is it. So here you go. It's 12 hours. Knock yourself out. Obviously, you can take it in bits. He does have. You can actually. He. Code Monkey's great. I love him. I don't always agree with every approach he takes, but I think his content is really good, and he's one of the best tutorial channels out there. He does offer this course paid. If you can afford it, it's up to you. I think this one was a little. Was this one? How much was this? It was one that I think his dots course was a little expensive, but I can understand why he did it that way. Yeah, let's see. This one's $200, but again, the whole course is free. So he did it paid, and then eventually, when he got enough money from the paid course, he released it for free, which was his plan the whole time. The difference between the paid course is that he gives you projects with examples that you can download and use. But the raw video is all up in this 12-hour course, and this runs you through everything. And you can see here, this is the syllabus. So he talks about, and again, it's within the context of Unity. So if you're looking to learn C# from Unity perspective, variables, data types, switch functions, scopes, comments, arrays, lists, loops, classes, statics. Again, if you know all that, just skip all that and go down to the next stuff where it's refactoring, enums, properties, multi-directional arrays, nested loops, recursion, dictionaries, params. To me, I think this is what you're looking for, Badger. Go through this and come out of this, and then you probably will have a lot more questions. But I think this will give you a good foundation that you're looking for. And you should subscribe to his YouTube channel because you would get some stuff. Some good Unity tutorials. And thank you for following, sir. And of course, every Friday night, I'm doing office hours here. I'm going to keep working on my game, but you can always stop by if you have Unity questions, coding questions, game dev questions. I do my best to answer them. Bring your problems, bring your code, questions, what you're stuck on. We will try to figure it out. But my disclaimer is that I'm not an expert. I'm not pretending to be an expert. I'm just a guy who does this as a hobby. I don't even do this professionally. I do this as a hobby. So use your best judgment when we're talking. Thank you very much, Scott. I am going to open that for myself. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Do I have this one? I have to look. I might have this one. I have, I think, one course from her. I forget which one. All right. What time is it? Midnight. Not going to stay up too much later, but we're going to get this working. So we added in the check to make sure that we can place the object. If not, we play the little sound. Otherwise, when we do place the object, current placeable place.